Sam and Travis, and if you're new here,
we're the couple that proved you can barrel roll an RV.
Yeah, not well, but you can.
What do you mean not well? We did it great.
I mean, full send. We sent that puppy.
We barrel rolled it and we lived.
We did live.
Don't try this at home.
No, do not take this as advice.
Real quick.
I don't know what's happening, but every time we move, the phones are shaking.
I figured I could eat some candy while we talk to the folks at home.
So the people that don't like watching people eat or like... Wow. So now we're going to have to wait for this.
I don't have to wait for anything. Just keep going.
All right. So we just wanted to come on here. So we just wanted to give you an update on where things are in life. It's no secret we have a new motorhome.
We're in a new motorhome. If any of you online want to pay us what you think this motorhome is worth, more than happy to accept checks.
Yes, we have seen a lot of comments. If you think we're not seeing them, we are. We did not make out an insurance. We do not have deep pockets. We are not rich. This is not $1 million motorhome.
That's what I said. If they want to pay me $1 million, I will sell it to them for
Yes,
$1 million.
we will sell it to you for $1 million. But we got very lucky in terms of the people we've met through this process. I'm so thankful. We met a lot of great people. The Motor Coach store in particular really helped us get into this rig at a price we were comfortable with. I'm not sure it was a price they were comfortable with, but it was a really generous.
Didn't they help us out?
I know, it was very generous. The next question we get all the time is, have we found our cat? The answer is no. We've not had a single sighting. People are still looking for her, but
we never had a sighting even from day one.
From day one, you saw her jump out the window.
Since I saw her jump out the window, we never saw her again. And in case you missed some of the other videos, we flew thermal drones. We had trail cameras out. We had bait stations out. We had clothes out. We had litter out. We had I hiked the woods day and night for 2 weeks straight.
The best community helping us. Yeah. Evelyn, if you're watching this, you're an angel. We appreciate you. But that's just a loss that we are just going to have to accept, I think, at this point. We have heard lots of stories where cats make their way home after so many months. The problem is our home moves. So we just have to hope that
maybe she'll turn up someday.
She either turns up, maybe someone loving took her in, or she joined, in my hopes, I hope she joined a cat gang, because she's pretty feisty and she could hold her own. So
we'll see. We'll never know.
That's our hope. Back to insurance. For those of you that think that we just made out in insurance, we did not. We ran into a lot of hiccups, and that's something we want to talk to you guys about, because in the full-time community, even just RV, if you don't full-time, there are a lot of misconceptions. We have Progressive for our insurance policy. It's the full-timers package. It's one of the few insurance companies that actually label it as a full-timers. We did a lot of research before going with Progressive. And do we regret going with Progressive? No.
Well, no. And I think it's important, if you don't know, Sam does work in insurance for another company.
I don't know if you should say that, because I may get roasted more because I didn't know. I'm not
going to say what company she works for.
Because I didn't know these things ahead of time.
That's how, I think it's important.
But thinking about that, we took the word of our agent, but it wasn't even the agent. It was one of the team members there. Mm-hmm. So I took the word of someone who was like me, who wasn't quite sure, and there should have been more research, I think, in terms of, rather than just accepting that we were covered. But Progressive,
you live and learn.
You live and learn, yeah.
And we made a mistake, assuming, I guess, that we had the coverage that we had asked for. Mm-hmm. And now we are trying to help others who, there's, I don't even know, countless numbers of people that we've talked to that are under the same impression that we were. So it's not clear. It's not something that everybody knows. So
here's where we want to try to clear some things up for you, because I guarantee you that a lot of you watching has Progressive for your full-time policy. We were under the impression that your personal effects coverage will cover everything in the RV, right? That makes sense. That's how you would interpret it. It's how I would interpret it. I explained to our agent, I've been a photographer my whole life. He's in the tech world. We have lots of cameras, lots of laptops, lots of other different kinds of so many different things on board. So I chose the highest limit we could get. Great. Agent says you're covered. You're good in case of a total loss. I didn't want to ever find out, but we had actually gone through a lot of different insurance companies getting quotes and talking to people about what a total loss would look like and what their coverages would cover. So when it came down to the total loss, our claims person let us know that, yes, you have this personal effects coverage, but make sure you read your policy jacket because there are some capped subcategories. So this sent a red flag up right away. And I remember the phone call the day that he told us, originally he told us each of your line items in your personal effects that you claim caps at $500 max. And I said, this is terrible news. I have so many cameras and lenses. A camera body alone, $500 doesn't replace that. And he's like, oh, I'm really sorry. So then he calls back, what was it, a couple hours later. And he's like, I have great news for you. I'm like, lay it on me. I could use some great news. He goes, cameras are a subcategory for which you can claim an exception to the amount. I'm like, great. What's that exception? He goes, you can claim up to $1,000 for all of your cameras and lenses and memory cards and tripods. And I was like, that's worse news.
So instead of $500 for every item, we get $1,000 for all of the items.
We did the math. It was roughly $12,000 in camera equipment that we could only get $1,000 for. That one, that one hit us. So then we're like, we got to dig into all these subcategories because they ended up sending us an Excel document with all of these subcategories and limits and saying, here's where everything falls. So we're looking into these limits. There's so many different subcategories that it's hard to find things to claim that aren't in those categories.
Your comment to them were, did you think we had this large amount for bedding and clothes?
Yeah, I was like, I didn't pick the highest amount I could get because I have that much in clothing and bedding.
Yeah.
This is our lives. And, he was very apologetic, and it's not the claims rep's fault. He did not set up our policy.
Which doesn't help them being apologetic. Doesn't fix the problem.
Doesn't fix. So that's something we wanted to make you aware of, because if you have a policy that covers these things, you need to understand these coverages and you need to read your policy jacket, which I had never seen our policy jacket. They had to email it to me, and it's like 60 pages of really tiny print and super confusing language that I don't know that you'd understand it until you have the loss and you talk to the claims agents and they kind of explain some things. So along the lines of personal effects, if you do want your valuable items covered, this wasn't even mentioned to me when we set up our policy. I should have known because the company I work for has a similar structure. It's just in a separate policy. Progressive does it within your RV policy. It's called scheduled items. It's basically almost an endorsement to your policy. You pay an extra amount of money. You give them a list of your items, their values, the serial numbers, receipts or appraisals of those items. And then in the event of anything that happens, so you spill water on your laptop, they cover that for the value that you've stated to them. So that is what we are doing now. So we have continued with Progressive. We have lowered our personal effects coverage. Well, one, because we don't have a lot of anything anymore.
And if you do, it's not going to matter anyway.
Well, yeah, it's spoiler alert. So that's what we're going to do with our personal effects. And we think it's important to still stick with Progressive because they're the only ones we've seen structure a policy in a way that makes sense for full-time RVers. For example, emergency expense. That was something that helped with hotel stays and your gas, food. But I will tell you, if you buy anything that falls under personal effects, they will put that expense into your personal effects. It does.
Yeah, it moves from emergency to personal effects. It's weird. So some of the stuff that we bought, we had to buy clothes because we didn't have shoes,
deodorant, toothpaste, all of that stuff, which is personal effects.
Instead of it coming out of the emergency fund, it just got deducted from our personal effects that we got later.
Yeah. And we also learned that we have been told that other policies that aren't a full-timer policy, they could limit you with that emergency expense. So some policies will say you can't be more than 50 miles from home to use that emergency expense. From my understanding, Progressive has told us that it's different with them because it's a full-time policy.
Because there's no home.
So there's some weird things. The other one is your medical payments. We had $5,000 in medical payment coverage, which sounds like a lot. Anyone who's a named insured on the policy or a driver or listed on the policy, they get $5,000 a piece. So he gets $5,000, I get $5,000. Great. The ambulance rides we were forced to take because it was a rollover. My bill was almost $6,000. His was almost $3,000, and that doesn't even count the bills we have from the hospital. So I will tell you, $5,000, while it seems like a lot, in my opinion, it's not enough. Right?
Yeah, I think for the most part, although like we had to be taken for a longer ride to a tier 1 trauma center, so like it was an extended um, ambulance ride. So
And I would do some research because there are insurance companies out there that offer supplemental health policies, and that will help you in the event of these things.
maybe
Insurance
is a scam. They just want your money and then they don't want to pay it out.
I can't say that I work for insurance.
I can say it.
So, although insurance is a great thing, it's also a really tough thing to navigate. Anything else?
We had just got another bill in the mail recently, and the state of New York they did charge us almost $9,000.
And when I called,
for a sign and 2 poles.
Yeah, literally, it's one of the yellow I almost said diagonal. It's a yellow diamond. Wow, it's one of those yellow diamond.
We're gonna buy
sign.
Sam a 3rd grade geometry book.
You're done. I'm taking over the account. No more you. So one of those signs is probably equivalent to the size of maybe a little larger than a stop sign. It's not a very big sign.
I mean, it's pretty big. It's a highway sign, but it was just a exit sign, diamond yellow sign.
$9,000.
Yeah, so
$9,000.
Betting they had a whole crew of people out there.
They probably even gave them a pizza party.
Yeah, maybe a pizza party. A couple guys holding shovels. One guy with a shovel.
So that was sent to our insurance company. From our understanding, that should be covered. It falls under your personal. It falls under a coverage. And we're working on something we can develop to give to RV families, RVers, that helps outline these things and give you a step-by-step on how to navigate through losses. So I'll figure out what that coverage is before I make that.
Yeah. Anyway, there's a lot of expenses that you don't get covered. Insurance tries to do their best to not pay out with whatever they owe you anyway, and that's what we've dealt with.
So keep your receipts, keep everything well documented.
Yeah.
Schedule things out if you can, if that's part of your policy, if you don't have Progressive. It's really the big ones. Oh yeah, we will give you a new
camper.
Yeah, we will give you a camper tour. That'll be coming. When life calms down. It's been a couple months. It's getting a little calmer.
We're kind of back to mostly normal.
Yeah, it's a new normal.
She's just sad because she doesn't have a pet.
Wow, just throw that out there. Not for lack of trying.
They either die or run away.
I can't. This is what I'm dealing with. Sam, why can't you grieve properly? This guy. So that's where we are right now. We just wanted to give you an update.
There's going to be a few videos that happened before the accident that we are going to be posting coming up, because we didn't feel like they were kind of appropriate to post for a while.
We had some stuff built up right before the accident,
yeah.
So that the accident kind of just threw off our timeline of posting. So if you see old Bertha in some videos...
Yeah, there's a reason why. We had to go back a little bit, and then we'll be trying to post some up-to-date videos.
So if you don't follow us, we'd love it if you followed us or subscribe to us or do all the things that will show you our stuff when we post it.
Yeah, subscribe to our blog.
Oh yeah, alwaystakethedetour.com. I post a weekly blog. You get lots of fun adventures, tips, any kind of deals we get, we try to give them to you. So yeah, follow along. We're kind of fun.